Hey guys, my name is Simpzy, how you all doing? Welcome back to some more FIFA 22 career mode. Here today on the channel, we're back with our Creator Club career series. We're playing as Simpzy FC. This is Season 3, Episode 1. Here today, we've got the first transfer window. We have a whopping £50 million in the bank to bring in some new first team quality players and basically just improve the squad depth as well. We are in the Europa League this time around. Hopefully, we can go on and win it. Okay, so here's the team. Looking at it, we definitely need a new striker. Javier Hernandez scored nearly 30 goals for me last year. He's retired. We could look to maybe restructure my midfield as well and get rid of some of our aging players. Our midfield, striker department, maybe left back is probably our weakest point in the side. Juan Mata isn't getting any younger. Same with Jay Lings and captain Sean Barnett as well. So the objective of this Season 3 is to try and make top 4. We want to try and get a Champions League position under our belt and maybe try and even win the Europa League as well. We won the Conference League last year, of course. Okay, so here's the team. Florian Muller is my highest rated player, followed by Christophe Ager. And who is sort of the oldest there? So Juan Mata's 35, Bradley's now hit 30, and the captain's hit 30 as well. Maybe we can look to move these guys on. Okay, so we're going to keep the same home kit, but a brand new season means a brand new away kit. We had the purple last year. So what does a blue look like? Not too light blue like City, like maybe that sort of blue. I actually don't mind that. Let's have a blue away kit. We'll keep the badge and the stadium as well. Once we get into the Champions League, I'll change us to a larger Champions League stadium. Okay, so we've got this guy here who's 1 red. I'm going to release him just in case he bugs the team up. Okay, so there's a couple of options here. Ben Yedder, Raspadori, Milik, Lacazette, Martial, Belotti. We could even go for Zlatan Ibrahimovic's regen. Icardi. So, even Ivan Toney. He's getting a little bit older. So we can't actually go for Zlatan's regen even if we wanted to. 27, he's gone to Marseille. Okay, I've managed to find this guy, Sebastiano Esposito. So, we'll negotiate with Inter to try and get the services of him. Really decent potential, quite young. Oh, hang on, we might be able to get him for about £11 million if we're lucky. Because he'd be a decent strike partner with Hutton. He can even play in midfield if we need to. So I'll try and get rid of the sell-on. And we're negotiating with Inter to try and get the services of Sebastiano Esposito. Esposito. However the song goes. So we'll try and get the deal done for the Italian international. I think it's Raspadori, a similar player to him. He's recently moved, so we couldn't go for him. So 30k on the wage. Sebastiano Esposito. I hope we can get the deal done. And he'll be the first player of Season 3. Italian international, 20 years of age. He's worth £10 million. We did have to overpay slightly at 12 mil. But now he'll be a pretty decent strike partner to replace Javier Hernandez's goals. 20 years of age. Fantastic ball control and long shots. Oh my god, guys, check this out. So I was just going through shortlisting a bunch of midfielders, and I found Pablo Gavi has been released for Barcelona. We might be able to sign Gavi for free. How insane is that? A shame he doesn't have a game face, but we might be able to get the deal done. Bernardeschi has had his contract expire as well. I probably need to bring in a couple midfielders just due to our aging players. Like, we're playing a 4-1-2-1-2. We probably could do with, like, basically 3 new midfielders. I would like to keep Yusuf, but there's a lot of midfielder youngsters that we could look to bring in. Oh, Francisco Moreas, our former player, has been let go as well. Okay, so the first midfield I'm going to negotiate for is Ravella. Nicola Ravella, who currently plays for Juventus. We'll launch a £9 million bid. They want 11. But now we have about £50 million. We probably could spend and probably get 5 wonder kids that are probably worth around about £10 million. I don't want to try and overpay if I can avoid it, because if we do so, we might have to sell some players. But we are a Europa League club now, so we're still technically a selling club. We finished in 5th last year, finishing in 7th. I want to try and finish top 4 this year. This team is definitely capable to do so, and I want to try and focus on the Europa League. Well, even if we win the Europa League, we might actually be able to qualify through that route if we're lucky. But we're going to try and get the services of Rovella to potentially replace Juan Mata. He's now 35. He's still got a couple of years left in him somehow, but he could very well retire at the end of the year. Like Javier Hernandez retired quite abruptly last year. So it looks like the second player of Season 3 we're going to get is Rovella. Looks alright. Hopefully can be the next Verratti in midfield for us. £13.7 million. Pretty decent buy for the 21-year-old. A lot of Italians coming in. Fantastic stamina, which is good to see. Bernardeschi has had his contract expire, the 29-year-old. Afobe as well. I think Afobe Benek will be too lowly rated. And Francisco, I don't think we should give him a contract because we'll probably try to move him on. But it's a shame he got let go quite early. I will go for Pablo Gavi though. It's a shame he doesn't have a game face in this game, because he's just sort of... Maybe in January there might be an update, but he has absolutely hit the ground running at Barcelona in real life. 18 years of age on a pre-contract. A 5-year deal would be great. Let's say 30k a week. Pablo Gavi will be joining the club. But I wonder how much this guy is actually worth. Oh, it's not going to pop up in the breaking news / world news section, because I guess he signed on a free. There was technically no transfer. So where is Gavi? 18 years of age, 73 rated, showing great potential. So how much is the dude worth? £6 million. So that's quite decent for the Spaniard. Oh, he can probably play attacking midfield for me this year. Okay, and we'll try and get Bernardeschi as well. Really good squad rotational player. Kind of similar to probably what Jay Lings was playing this season. But I probably wouldn't have actually gone out and signed Gavi. I feel like it's a bit of a sweaty signing, but I'm definitely going to do it if Barcelona released him. Barcelona rejected him. He didn't play well in this alternative timeline in this career series for Barca. He ended up getting dropped and released. Now he's been picked up for Simpzy FC. Hope we can get this deal done though. Okay, so Bernardeschi is probably going to need about £60 million upwards. But the thing is with players like Bernardeschi and Lingard, we always could sell them on in the future for a profit. But Gavi, Bernardeschi, 4 players in the midfield. Okay, I might actually go for this guy. He looks alright. Moribia, former Barcelona lad, now plays for Leipzig. We've got a lot of creative midfielders. I feel like Moriba. Yeah, that's how you say it. Moriba will be a little bit more physical. He can probably play in the DM ideally if we need to. But we've got Yusuf there for now. 20 years of age, Spanish. We've got a really strong Spanish and Italian midfield to forward line. So another decent wonder kid coming into the club. Well, Wunder kid, if he's coming all the way from Rasenball Leipzig. So probably going to offer him a similar wage to the other boys, Gavi and Rovella. So that's a pretty decent midfield. Gavi creating the plays going forward, Rovella holding, and Moriba being a bit more physical. Okay, so here's the team. Esposito, Hutton leading the line, Gavi at the cam, Rovella on the left, Moriba on the right, Yusuf in the DM. I think that's a brilliant 4-man pivot. Bogle, Poch, Ager, Bradley and Muller. And then Bernardeschi, Lingard and Barnett probably on the bench as they've hit 30. We will need a new captain at the club, and I'm tempted to give it to Hutton. To be honest, he's been the consistent player from the first season. Everyone here except for him and Bradley are new. Yeah. So Juan Mata's now 35. I'm nearly tempted to move him on because we might be able to get £4 million for him. We used basically Lingard and him for our Conference League campaign. They're just going to lose their game time. We might actually be able to get like 20 mil for J-Lings, which would be quite insane for Jesse. So we're adding for the transfer list. We are a club at the end of the day that are a little bit strapped for cash. I will be open for an offer for Curtis Bradley as well. And unfortunately, Sean Barnett, 30 years of age, 76 rated. We're going to have to move some of these guys on. And I'll tell them as well. I usually don't do the player chats. I usually just ignore them because it's a bit of a waste in time just doing all this morale stuff. But sometimes if you say quite adamantly that you don't want them at the club, I think they can find their own moves a bit easier. Okay, so the objectives for this season that the board want me to do: win 5 cup matches, reach the group stage of the Europa League, that's doable, finish in a Europa League spot, and then the FA Cup, yeah, but I want to go for the Champions League. We've still got 4 seasons to hit that. So we got the European Friendly Cup in Germany. We managed to win 2-0 against Valencia. Hutton scored a brilliant brace. So the first team is gelling together. Okay, so we've got heaps of offers here. We rejected a loan to buy for Rodgers. Vaz could be going to Portugal. Burnley have come in with a £4 million bid for Juan Mata. We're going to accept that. Chelsea have launched a £23 million bid for Bogle, which I'm open for roughly around about 40. And Hutton, Real Sociedad want him. Okay, there's a fair few free agents here that my team's identified. Look, some of these guys are probably not going to be first team or substitution players, but there's some pretty decent former Premier League players here. He's not. Martin Packer. But these guys, we might be able to sign them up for free and then potentially, Robin Carr as well, sort of adopt the Chelsea model. Sign these players that are never going to get into the first team, loan them out, and then make a profit of them in the future. I think we'll try and adopt that model. Speaking of Chelsea, let's negotiate with them. We spent around about 15-16 million on Bogle last season. I have no ambition of selling the 22-year-old Englishman, except for anywhere around £40 million, 25 mil. You're going to have to really step up the cash if you want him. I'm surprised Chelsea need someone like this, to be honest. But if we were to sell Bogle, we could bring in someone like a Max Aarons as an adequate replacement, and then have nearly £20 million to play with. 3.38 mil, and they're not interested. So I am open to offers for all my players, because we are a selling club. But if it's not met, I'm not going to sell them. So we've signed a couple of guys here. They're pretty lowly rated. Tomlinson, Bertelli, Rack, Saki, or whatever you say his name. And we'll add these boys to the loan list, and we'll try and make a profit on them in the future. Might be able to make a couple mil, which would be nice. Okay, we had a match against Lille, and unfortunately drew 0-0. Followed by a 2-0 win over against Crystal Palace. Hutton scored another brilliant brace. More transfer negotiations here. Bilbao have launched a £19 million bid for Stefan Poch. We signed him for about 5-6 mil. But to be honest, I'd nearly accept like £40 million for the Austrian centre-back / right-back. And I'm nearly probably happy to accept quite a close valuation for Curtis Bradley. He's now turned 31. So I thought he recently turned 30. He's actually getting even older. So £7 million would be great for the Welshman. Okay, Lazio have launched a £7.6 million bid for the Europa League, the Conference League captain. If Lazio could give me just under 10, that'd be decent for him. We've managed to progress further in the friendlies, but only as far as the first knockout round. Unfortunately, we lost 2-1 to Wolfsburg. Moriba picking up the only goal. And it looks like Leverkusen is going to be a German friendly final in Germany. So Juan Mata has been sold. for a couple mil, which is not too bad. He's going to play in Burnley. £57 million bid for Hutton from Wolves. Crazy. And Villarreal wants Florian Muller. Lazio have officially signed Sean Barnett. I know it's gutting that we've let go of the captain who helped us finish in 7th in the first season, get that Conference League football, then go on to win it, and then put us in the Europa League. But I've got to be ruthless with my 30 plus years of age players. Sorry, Shawnee. Thank you for your service. We'll change some of the positions and sort of growth plans for these boys. And Curtis Bradley has been sold to Real Betis as well for £7 million, a team we knocked out last year. But check out this. Manchester United want Jesse Lingard back. They're offering $20 million. Granada have launched a pretty decent bid for Yusuf as well, but I'd rather keep him, to be honest. I'm nearly tempted to negotiate with Manchester United here. I guess they are looking for an attacking midfielder, someone they know around the club. Like, would Ole Gunnar Solskjaer give me 28 mil for Jesse? 22. I'd nearly get 25. Oh my god, United are going to play me 25 mil to get Jesse Lingard back. You've got to be joking. And they've gone and done it. What a huge cash injection. I like you, Jesse, but you're 30 plus years of age, and I can't turn down a bid for 25 million. So he's gone back to United. They wanted him for squad depth, I guess. Okay, so that means we can get a decent quality left back. We could go for one Miranda, as we let Bradley go to Betis. We could maybe re-sign Hickey, but he'd probably cost too much. I tried to go for Estupiñán, but he left Villarreal to join Juventus, so he's already made his big money move. I'm going to try and get the services of one Miranda, as we know now Betis has an abundance of left backs with Bradley coming in. So it's essentially Bradley and Miranda going the other way, and then we'll try and get the deal done. They want Ravella. No, he's recently just signed. I'm not going to let him go. We've got the cash to stump it up. So Juan Miranda, another former Barcelona lad. We've got a lot of players with former Barcelona connections at the club, which is quite cool. So for £20 million, Juan Miranda will be probably our new left back. And I would have loved to get these signings in the first couple of seasons, but we haven't had money until season 3. So we're going to decline that release clause and hopefully get this deal done on a 5-year deal. We're going to build a really solid group of youngsters with huge potential and sort of can buy in for the future. We're saying, look, honestly, within 4 or 5 seasons, we want to be challenging for the Premier League and the Champions League. And definitely with you boys, you're all capable to do so. So we'll create a strong leadership group surrounded by a bunch of youngsters that can grow and continue together. Kind of like what the Melbourne Football did in the AFL in real life last year, or the last couple of years. So Miranda's now come in, and at the moment, we basically just need squad depth. Our first team starting 11 is perfect. We just need a squad depth for the Europa League. So I'm tempted to go out and maybe bring in some just squad depth players. Now, Santiago Munoz, I'm going to say Munoz, he was actually let go by potentially Newcastle or the Mexican club he was at, but he is currently available for free, so we might be able to get Munoz, which is really quite awesome and funny because we do have a huge Mexican-sized striker hole up top with Javier Hernandez gone. Baldy, I guess. Baldy, I think that's how you say it. We need a left back. We might go for Nets. Now, we've just signed Miranda. Nets wouldn't be a first team player. He would actually be a backup to rotate in the Prem if we need to. So, for £8 million, £11 million, is probably going to be a little bit of an expensive left back. But he will be a decent rotational player for one Miranda if we need to. Look at Nets, another former Borussia Mönchengladbach player joining the club. We've got a fair few of them. So I'll drop it to like rotation if we could. Okay, and he's actually more than happy to accept that, because I don't want him to confuse himself with the dream of first team football just yet. But even with some of these blokes, if we find out that the squad depth is fine, we're not picking up too many injuries, we might be able to loan them out and make a profit on them as well. But we're just trying to get a bunch of squad depth in after the first team is pretty solid now. Could go with another backup centre-back as well. Pelmard, Mckenzie, Collins, Zagadou, Christensen, Ake. A lot of these guys look quite decent. Okay. Another team we faced last year in the Conference League, Nice. They got this guy here, Andy Pelmard. He can play right back, so that means we don't need one if we can get him in. But he'll be a decent backup centre-back to Ager or Stefan Poch if either of them were to move on in the future. Or even potentially to loan out and have a bit of a backup. If we have an injury crisis, we always can recall him. 23 years of age, Frenchman, playing for Nice. Not the tallest of centre-backs, but he's quite mobile, so that'd be good. I'm nearly tempted to sign him as a prospect, but he's going to accept sporadic, which is fine by me. And a 5-year deal is always the best play. You want to try and get a 5-year deal because it keeps their evaluation, and you don't have to constantly negotiate for contracts, increasing their wages from every other year or so. I've signed another player here. We're just really trying to rebuild the team for Season 3 and our Europa League campaign. Okay, I'm going to go for the services of Mckenzie. We're actually signing a lot of former teams we've faced. We faced Ghent, was it in one of the friendly tournaments early in this career saves? I just remember bringing up Ghent at some point. So for Mark Mckenzie, the American, they're probably going to accept around about a £6 million bid for the 24-year-old. And this guy's more of your traditional centre-back Mckenzie. While the Frenchman, Pelmard, can play more right-back if he needs to. More of a hybrid role. Mark Mckenzie is your top-notch, top-draw defensive centre-back. There's a couple of others as well, but I think Mckenzie and the other bloke can make a good pairing. Nico Gonzalez as well. We've got the cash, so we might as well bring in someone like him. He might be better playing in the DM than Yusuf in the future. But if we've got the cash, there's no harm investing into someone like Nico Gonzalez. And let's say another Barcelona lad, or with Barcelona connections. This one is actually the only one we've officially signed through the Barcelona board. We've actually had to negotiate with their hierarchy, but they're willing to let Nico Gonzalez go for a pretty cut fee because his contract will be expiring at the end of the year. He's managed to run it down a bit, but another 5-year deal would be brilliant. I'm going to decline that. He's definitely going to hit that £20 million evaluation, so I don't want anyone to match it and snatch him up. We might be able to get him under 30. Nah, he wants 35. That's fine. So let's try and offer that. A little bit of a bigger signing on bonus. Oh, we might not have the money here. We're literally spending all the last of our resources on Gonzalez. And that's probably pretty much it. Unless we sell anyone, we should be right. Okay, so we've managed to sign a new left back, 4 midfielders, a striker, 2 strikers, and then the free agents. So here's the team now. I'm super happy with this. We've actually got quite a decent substitutional bench as well. So here's the team going forward. Esposito, Hutton leading the line. Gavi creating the plays. Decent, solid defence as well. So we are now a 4-star team, which is probably where we belong. So Muller is our highest rated player. Hutton's now 80 rated. Bernadeschi's now up there as well. Gavi's gone up a +2 just in the pre-friendlies. Fiorentina. Oh, hang on. Okay, we received a pretty decent offer here for Christophe Ager, the former Brentford centre-back. He's currently worth £30 million. We paid around about 15 for him, maybe even less. I can't remember, but if we were to get like £50 million for him, we'd probably be 5 times what we bought him for. 47 mil? Oh my god, guys. So much transfer negotiations here. So Borussia Dortmund have come in and signed Christophe Ager for a whopping £48 million. Okay, so that means we have to go and restructure our defence yet again. 6'6", that's what he is in real life. The Norwegian international has gone to Dortmund. Wow, he actually quite looks good in the Dortmund kit, but that's a massive signing. We've got £30 million now in the bank. I don't even know where we start. Could go for someone like Christensen, Ake, Lee Normand, Klosterman, Zagadou. There's a fair few players that we could potentially sign because we need a brand spanking new centre-back. But there's definitely players we can get here, probably arguably better than Christophe Ager. Okay, I think I've found Ager's replacement. I'm going to try and pronounce this properly. Is it Maxime Lacroix? I've heard people say Lacroix. I guess that's how you'd probably Anglo-size it. But Lacroix, I think that's how you say his name. A little bit difficult for me, but let me know in the comments. But this guy is an absolute beast on Ultimate Team. He has fantastic pace, stamina, and would be a really good replacement for Ager in our defence. He did leave Wolfsburg in this career series to join Nuno Espirito's Tottenham Hotspur. But it looks like he's going to relocate to our club. I have a feeling I didn't actually verse him in the last couple of seasons. Like, I didn't actually notice he was at Spurs until I tried to get his signing. But Lacroix will be, hopefully, our biggest signing of the career series. We've sold Ager for upwards of 50 million, which is a huge profit on him. And you really can't... Like, I feel like in a club in my position, if any Champions League teams come for my players, I can't really say no to them. But we've gone out and signed Lacroix, the Frenchman, who's 6'3". Check out the sprint speed and defensive awareness on this guy as well. He's also Premier League proven now. And we're going to give him first team football, which he desires. And we've loaned out Mckenzie as well on a 2-year deal. He's gone to Bordeaux. We've opted to keep Pellemard instead. Okay, so here's the August calendar. We've got Reading, Chelsea, and Liverpool. I'll probably simulate this match against Reading, and then we'll play the one against Chelsea and Liverpool live. Okay, so we managed to go on and play and win against Reading 5-2 in a massive drumming. We smashed the team on their Premier League debut or return. Alright, so we're currently at the top of the league because we managed to smash Reading so convincingly, but we face Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea. Pedri has left Barca for well over 100 million. He's joined Juventus, which is quite crazy. But now we face Chelsea. They've got Hummels, and that's pretty much it. The rest of the team is just shooting up in crazy overall rating, I would imagine. I'd imagine Havertz is probably 90 or so plus rated. Maybe even a couple of others as well. They did try to sign my player Bogle, but that deal has fallen through. But we're about to get underway. First match of the season I'm playing. And Chelsea look good. Conte still at the club. Taverna. Big save by Muller. Away at the bridge. Very limited number of highlights in the first half. It's taken to the second for Chelsea to really put the pressure on me. I've created nothing. Lacroix can't contain Romelu Lukaku. Pulisic running the show. Lacroix has hit the deck, and they managed to pick up a goal there just for the 65th. thanks to big man Romelu Lukaku, his first goal of the Premier League season. Still not down and out for the count just yet, but Chelsea just look really good running the football around us. And they are just absolutely cruising. Lukaku, Hakim Ziyech, Werner, Havertz could all very well be 90 rated. And unfortunately, Florian Muller couldn't get to the grab. Dived backwards and upwards, but it was Hakim Ziyech to make it 2-0. Pretty cagey in the first half, but really Chelsea put on the afterburners in the second and punished us. My team is a little bit exhausted, so we're going to make some substitutional rotations. We're going to bring on Santiago Munoz. We're also going to bring on Bernardeschi as well. And we could potentially bring on Nico Gonzalez as well. Chelsea might get another late on here. In the 90th minute, Romelu Lukaku whips it into the box. Poch manages to receive the ball, but only floats it as far as N'Golo Kanté. And we've managed to start off our Premier League campaign against a top 6 side, getting smashed a whopping 3-0. Hopefully we can have a better result against Chelsea. We'll play at Liverpool than we did against Chelsea, because we kind of got smashed, unfortunately. Okay, third match of the Premier League season, we face Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, who have signed Gravenberch, who left Napoli for 100 mil. I wonder what he left Ajax for, to be honest. But he's probably going to be bang smack in Liverpool's midfield, you'd think. And they've also rotated the team slightly as well. Anyway, we host them at the Den, but we're still blooding in these new players. They need to get their chemistry and match fitness up. But Hutton scored 4 in 3 games, which is quite decent for us. Hutton, fantastic tackle. Yeah, who's this in the defence? But anyway, Hutton's running the show. Great shot straight at Alisson though, but it wasn't to be. Salah. Poch. Still getting used to not having Azure in my defence. Juan Miranda wanting to come out. Gravenberch. Or Gravenbach. Newly signed man. Ravella. Yusuf. And Simpzy FC are away. Hutton. Might have to try and find... He might have to go the way himself, actually. And he does! Left foot brilliance there. Harry Hutton is probably going to be the saviour of this career series. 68 rated when he started. 17 years of age. 5-star weak for 5-star skill. Is now 81 rated. Huge offer came in from Real Madrid in his youth. They wanted him for 10 mil. Sociedad launched about a £30 million bid. Hopefully we can keep this boy at the club. He is the new captain. He is from the youth product line here in London. Lacroix to Miranda. Only as far as Firmino. Liverpool capitalise on my sloppiness. Valverde in. Poch manages to come and get it out. And Hutton comes up to collect. He drops back. Esposito flicks on Ravella. And Nistri has joined Manchester United. Pretty decent signing. But Ravella there at the Den makes it 2-0. Fantastic piece of fancy football. And a perfect finesse to top it off. We're 2-0 up against Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool. Let's go. I'll win that. Ravella, Hutton, and we're overloading them again. Esposito, fantastic flick on. He's actually decent as a supplier to Hutton. Oh, big save by Alisson. Yeah, Esposito has decent passing because he technically plays a cam. That's what you need when Harry Hutton is so sweaty. He might even get a brace here. He's been fouled, keeps on going. Probably should have taken the pen. Esposito from the range. Liverpool hold on there. Simpzy FC probably could be 3-0 up, but we've managed to beat Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool for the biggest scoreline of the career series, 2-0. Well deserved as well at the Den. Alright, well, unfortunately it's time to end Season 3, Episode 1 here today. Hope you guys enjoyed. We had a huge amount of transfer negotiations. I wasn't honestly expecting for it to go for that long, but we obviously had to improve the first team, which we had to restructure. Then I wanted to bring in some squad depth. And then I'm blown away that we actually managed to sell a lot of our players for huge evaluations. That Dortmund funding was absolutely awesome. I guess they were like, okay, Europa Conference League winner. Aja has been in the competitive top half of the English flight for the last couple of years. Just forget the relegation with Brentford. But for £50 million, you really can't reject an offer like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed. We're going to be continuing Season 3. If I could make top 4, that would be really quite cool. That's what I'm going to be fighting for this season. Try and improve. Season 1 finished in 7th. Season 2 finished in 5th. We'll try and finish in 4th this time around. And we'll also try and go far in the Europa League as well. I'd love to win the Conference League, then the Europa League, then the Champions League. That can really build us up. But we're doing quite well. We're progressing every single episode, which is what I like to see. We're also growing our players as well. We're increasing the wealth and squad depth of the club. And hopefully within 4, 5, 6 seasons, we can win the Champions League and the Premier League with ease. Alright, stay tuned for Season 3, Episode 2 coming out the exact same time tomorrow. We're still technically in the August and July transfer window, so we can do some more negotiations tomorrow. It just depends if anyone's sold on deadline day, if any big offers come in for my players. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm going to play the outro now. Unfortunately, it's time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Check out my social media links in the description below if you'd like to stay connected with me. Gotta say a huge thank you to my patrons and channel members: Victor K, Sebastian C, Jordan K, Caesar L, Brian S, Tal, Liam B, Kyle P, Tom C, and Wyatt P. So thanks guys, my name has been Simpzy, much love from Australia, goodbye.